Hi, Mr. Land Trust. I am one of your new students, and I was wondering if I really need a director in my land trust. Well, the answer to that question is determined by who you want to have control over this trust. If you assign a director, let me back up. Typically, when you form these grantor revocable trusts, the power of direction is held by the beneficiary, unless you want to designate a director, either upon formation of the trust or sometime in the future. But once you designate that director, typically you're giving the director the power over the trust to do anything, to sell the property in the trust, to put financing on the property, whatever they want to do. So you got to be really, really careful giving that power of direction to someone other than yourself or someone you trust 110%. Now, I have given examples on this coaching call in the past about why you might want to have a director. What comes to my mind the quickest is if you have an adult child that's not mentally capable of making financial decisions. You could make them the beneficiary of the trust, so they get the proceeds from the rental property, for example, and you would be the director, always making the decisions on what happens with that trust. That's a great reason to use a director. And you can limit a director's power through the verbiage in that power of direction section of the trust agreement. So if you don't like what it says in there for the power of direction, change it, add to it, or take away. But just be careful who you give it to. Now, many real estate investors who make their LLC the beneficiary of their land trust will give the power of direction to themselves. And that's what I tell them all to do, because this allows for ease of management of the trust and prevents the exposure of your LLC agreement. So let me give you an example. If I make my LLC the beneficiary of my land trust and have the LLC hold that power of direction, at some point that LLC is going to need to sign something like a letter of direction to the trustee or whatever it might be. And typically, if there's an attorney or a title company involved, they're going to want to see, well, what gives you the power to sign on behalf of the LLC? And that would be, that means you're going to have to expose your operating agreement, and I don't think that's a good thing. If you make yourself the director and your LLC the beneficiary, then you as an individual have the power, and all you have to do, if necessary, is show somebody your driver's license that, yeah, that I'm that person that has the power of direction over this trust. So you might just think about that. I've written a lot about the power of direction in past newsletters. You can look. I've got, I think, at least 2 newsletters devoted totally to the power of direction issue.